Hey, hi lovelies and welcome or welcome back. Excited that you're here. My dog is here with me also. I don't know if you guys can see her. Hopefully yes. She's looking out the window casually enjoying herself. Soon I'm going to take both of my dogs to the park to ground a little, connect with nature, and maybe that's your little reminder to touch some grass. Yesterday I was talking to my therapist and I got to the most, I think the right word would be phenomenal conclusion. It's like the answer to the question that I've been asking myself for the past maybe 2 years, 2 years and a half, kind of, maybe even 3 years. I told you guys that the aspect of my life that I have the most difficulty navigating, guys, my dog is having tummy aches. I don't know if he's barking because he wants to go downstairs to use the bathroom, or if he's just casually barking. Timmy! So I was telling you guys that the aspect of my life that I have the most difficulty navigating is the romantic aspect, and the way I was feeling about people, blocked, but also over feeling a little bit in excess. And the other aspect of my life that I don't really talk about too much on here that I really have difficulty with, maybe I talked about it a little bit in the blockages and my difficulties, is kind of my difficulty being seen, perceived, and communicating in front of like crowds, and it's more like in front of large groups of people. I get really like introverted and like introspection and have difficulty expressing myself. I have difficulty with too many people looking at me, and it kind of leaves me triggered and a little bit freaked out. And I realized something through like these past few years, and mostly just because of my therapist, that I don't really think I can say that I realized this. It's more like my therapist helped me understand, because I was saying that I thought it was so crazy that I was feeling like so like kind of a little bit obsessive and like in love with random men, in the sense of people that I didn't know enough to have that kind of like visceral physical reaction to, of like obsession, desire, and longing. It didn't have the right foundation to construct a relationship, and I thought it was pretty like crazy that I was feeling things that deeply. So I told her this, like in the first session I told her about like my difficulty like public speaking and how I wanted to express myself and be seen and feel comfortable shining and all of those things. And then in the second session we were talking about my little obsessions, and it's funny because my therapist is very similar to me, and she had also experienced these things, and her like being a therapist and studying everything and like trying to understand the psychology behind everything, realized that it had a lot to do with like, so it's basically that thing in psychology of like the anima and the animus, that is like the feminine energy and the masculine energy that reside within us. And this obsession that I was feeling for these men was literally just my feminine version on the pursuit and looking for my masculine version externally. The phases of my life where I was like most in this energy of like obsession, like longing and everything, were the phases that my feminine energy was mostly activated, and I was really not cultivating or taking care of and developing my masculine energy, because these energies are within us. We just need to integrate them and connect them and like nurture them in a sense. So when I wasn't nurturing the masculine version of myself, I was hopelessly looking for the masculine version of me externally. So I found people that represented the qualities that my masculine energy holds. And it was crazy because they all looked alike, these men. They all looked like me. And they were all so similar to me, but in different aspects. In aspects that I hold within myself, but maybe I'm not cultivating as much. And it was crazy because there was one guy, one specific guy, that I honestly think was like the masculine version of me. I was the most obsessed out of all these men with him, and it's something that has lasted years. I feel like it's been 3 years since I've met him, and I still think about him sometimes. I'm like still shocked by like the profoundness of my feelings. Like every time I saw him, it's like my whole body was like shock waves of like so intense. And then I told you this, that I thought that it was so crazy that I still thought about him sometimes, and my body still felt so many emotions. Sometimes I even cried, and it was like so much that I couldn't comprehend why I hadn't like closed out that cycle. Then I realized that I still had something to learn from the situation. And I started really pondering throughout our therapy session, like, what is it? Like, what haven't I learned? Like, what is still missing for me to, like, close out the cycle? And I realized that everything that I, like, admired in him were the things that I brought up to my therapist that I wanted to cultivate and develop within myself. He was an amazing public speaker. He shined super bright when he entered every single room. He had like the gift of communication, the gift of just being seen and being admired and like reveling in that like glory of like having an audience just looking at you. And it's so crazy because he was literally representing all that I want to become and all that I possess within myself, but I wasn't able at the time to have consciousness of that and to start the search to find it and cultivate it within me. So I desperately thought that I needed it because I do need it. But within me, I thought that I needed it in him, and I needed him, and he was the one. And it's crazy because for a long time I thought, like, is this just pure insanity? Like, what am I doing with myself? Why am I being so obsessed with him? Then I realized, no. Like, there's my feminine energy that is hopelessly in love with my masculine energy needs me to cultivate that energy and needs me to possess all that I desire. And while I wasn't aware, I looked for it externally. And I feel so blessed that I finally found like the right person to find the right words to tell me this so that I could flip my switch and understand it for what it really is. It's not like I found my soulmate. Maybe he isn't even is some kind of soulmate. I feel like soulmates come in various like shapes and sizes to make us understand and grow in different ways and sometimes teach us some lessons, and it's just so crazy. I never imagined that my like profound desire for him was this. And it's funny because I wrote him lots of letters and I thought about him like constantly. And all that I was actually doing, craving him, was craving that version of myself. And it's all within me. I feel like the key to everything is that it's all within us. And it's always been within us. And the more that we obsessively desire something externally, the more that we need to find that within ourselves. I'll give you guys some more examples. I was like, before I was obsessed with this guy. Obsessed makes me seem like super stalkerish, but no, I was just really like daydreaming and fantasizing and thinking about. I was really into this one specific guy that was like really like what's it called, like a musician, and I thought he was like super amazing and really admired that musician in him. And I was just admiring my own capacity to be like a musician and to develop the more artistic side of myself. I was also quickly obsessed with one guy that was like an entrepreneur, like CEO kind of vibes, and all that I was doing. Like I was just projecting my desire to become an entrepreneur and like a CEO myself and admiring that within him. So thinking that I liked him more than I actually did, because I actually liked the possibility and like the quality of becoming that within myself. Like this is all so crazy. I'm just taken aback. Because I remember talking to my mom and to my friends, and they were like, "You're crazy. Like, this has nothing to do. Like, why are you into these guys? Like, no, like, forget about it." And something within me, like, didn't let me forget about it. I was like, there's a specific reason that I'm thinking so much about this, and I need to get to the root of what this is. And my therapist, thank God, was able to explain it to me. And it all just made so much sense. Because all of these qualities that I admire within them were things that were crucial for basically my existence moving forward, and lessons that I needed to learn and qualities that I needed to possess to be able to construct the life and the future that I desired for myself in all these little aspects. I found people in the world that represented exactly what I desired to cultivate within myself, and fell in love with the qualities that they held that were basically mirroring back to me qualities that I have but I needed to cultivate more. And that's just, it's just so crazy. I'm just like, ah. I feel like for the first time, maybe in like 3 years, I'm not thinking about anybody. I'm not daydreaming about anybody. I'm just cultivating a pure state of like admiration for myself. It's like I don't need them to want me. I don't need them at all. I don't need even to be in a relationship or fall in love with someone, because I'm falling in love with myself. And I feel so lucky to exist and to be this person, and to have these beautiful people around me that are helping me gain so much knowledge and understanding about all these situations, so I can develop myself and grow and become the person that I aspire to be, and the person that will be able to create a sturdy foundation for the life that I want to create for myself. I think our 20s is all about discovering who we truly are and the life that we want to create for ourselves, and going like step by step creating the foundation that will be able to sustain the rest of our lives. And we're still so young, everything is so fresh, and I was gonna say fabulous, maybe even a little fabulous, and everything is still so possible. So we really have to sit down, think about it. I, for a while, thought that it was a little crazy that I was single for so long in my 20s and like leaving my teenager years, because I feel like those are the years that you're most like hormones are going crazy and you want to spend time with people and everything. But I'm honestly feeling really blessed about it. I'm happy that I get to spend like these crucial years of development and like putting down the foundation by myself, fully able to spend like as much time as I desire just constructing and building and nurturing and healing and understanding myself and knowing myself. I know that if I was in a relationship, I would be spending a lot of time doing all of that, like nurturing and caring and taking care of and trying to help develop someone else, and that there's so much beauty in that. But I think it's gonna be so amazing to just spend maybe the rest of my 20s just focusing on me and doing everything that I can to heal, nurture, and just grow as a person, to become the person that I truly desire to be when I meet the one that I'm going to spend maybe the rest of my life with, and not waste time on randos and scenarios that aren't fulfilling and aren't making me expand. And just take this time to focus on me. I know that I kept saying that I wanted to do that, but I don't know how much I actually did that. And now I think I'm just so ecstatic to have this time to myself before I'm still young, I'm still starting my career, so it's not taking up so much of my time. I'm not in a relationship, so that's not taking up my time. I don't have kids, so I just have, I think, the most time that I'll ever have to do this, and I'm just excited to do it. So if you're single or obsessing over a man or obsessing over a woman, try to understand like the deep-rooted reason why you're doing this. If it's truly a love bond and relationship, or if it's just them mirroring back to you qualities that you love and admire about yourself that need cultivating. And if you're single, if you're in your 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, know that there's a beautiful reason for you to be living this stage of solitude, and enjoy it. Maybe you'll meet someone tomorrow. You never know. Enjoy it while you can. I love you so much. I hope that this helps. I'm really happy that I could share this powerful insight that I think changed my whole perspective on how I was feeling the past few years with you guys. And yay! I hope that you stick around and subscribe. I love you. I'll see you very soon. Bye.